Okay, I have a very, very busy next 2 days. I am going to be, I actually have two catering jobs on Saturday. One is for a church retreat ladies breakfast. They ordered basically 100 plates, breakfast charcuterie plates. So half of them will be low carb and the other half will be a traditional breakfast. So I'm doing that. And then I'm doing all of this with my daughter. And then I have an order for 100 small cookies for a little local shop in town that is having a holiday open house. So we are going to be very, very, very busy today and tomorrow. Right now, I am working on the cookies. Here comes my little helper, George. He loves to help. He's handing me the butter there. He's such a sweetie. Now he just fell over on his way to get the stool. There we go, George. You've got it, buddy. Probably hurt just a little bit. So anyway, right now I'm weighing out the butter. Again, this is going to be for 100. I say small cookies. These cookies are actually still quite large, but they are half the size of our regular cookie, which is really quite giant. So we're going to be making two different kinds of cookies today, but they both have the same base cookie dough. So first I'm going to be mixing up all of the cookie dough, and then we'll divide that in half and add the different toppings. So we are going to have two different types of cookies, like I said. One of them will be an Oreo crumble cookie, and the other one is Biscoff cookie. So they have, both of the cookies have white chocolate chips in them. And then obviously the Oreo crumble has crushed up Oreos, and the Biscoff cookie has crushed up Biscoff. So they are really quite delicious. Okay, I've got my butter weighed finally. That is a lot of butter. I think it ended up being 2 pounds plus one stick, if I'm remembering correctly. So the first thing I have to do, obviously, is cream the butter. Now I got these new cookie dough beaters for my Bosch mixer. My mistake, though, was that I did not buy a metal, you see that white plastic round thingy in the center? So that's what the beaters, they click into that. And they have metal ones for the cookie dough beaters because, cookie dough is so thick and stiff. And so I was like, well, I don't know if I would get the metal one in time, so I'm just going to go ahead with my plastic one. And as you'll see a little bit later on, that was a mistake. I should have gone ahead and ordered the metal one, but lesson learned. So now I am measuring out my sugar. The recipe actually calls for all dark brown sugar, but I was out. So I used what I had, and I'm just going to use the rest light brown sugar. Normally, I would send somebody to the store to get more dark brown, but we were in too much of a hurry. I really did not have the spare time, and they ended up turning out delicious anyway. So the butter is creamed. Now I'm adding the sugar in, and I'm going to give that a good mix. And let's see. I think I'm supposed to be putting in eggs soon too. George is back to trying to get his stool again. That's basically George's stool. Okay, so Hosanna's coming now to take over because I need to be working on probably crisping up bacon in the oven. So Hosanna is, as you may know if you've seen more than one of my videos, Hosanna is really my right-hand woman. She wants to be a caterer when she has graduated from high school. And so I'm basically building the catering business for her because I don't particularly want to always be a caterer. It is something that I enjoy doing on occasion, but it is a ton of work. It takes up a ton of time, and I have my hands full. But I want to help my daughter have a successful business when she has graduated, and so I am taking on these catering jobs so that she can learn what it takes to have a successful business, and so that we can basically build up the business for her so that when she's ready, she can take over the reins and take it as far as she wants to go. So right now she's 14 years old, and I think in another 4 years she will be ready. So as you can see now, we have the cookie stuff in the bowl with a hand mixer because we broke the beaters. So we had to improvise here. And, you know, that's one of the things about being a good cook is that you have to improvise. So that's what she's doing. She's great at it too. And so she's going to mix everything together now with the beater. This is a fantastic hand mixer. If you're in the market for one, it's a Cuisinart and it is super powerful. I had my aunt actually gave me a Cuisinart hand mixer for my wedding 22 years ago. And I used that thing to death because, you know, it was probably at least a decade before I had an actual KitchenAid mixer. And so I used my Cuisinart for everything. And I just replaced it 2 years ago, I think. So that it lasted me 20 years of heavy, heavy use. So I decided to get another Cuisinart hand mixer because if the first one lasted me 20 years, you know, maybe I'll only have to replace this a few times in my lifetime. So we got this pretty yellow one, and it is a workhorse. So if you need a hand mixer, I can't recommend this highly enough. It is just really a good tool to have in the kitchen, especially when you break your other tools. Don't you love how Hosanna has a Sharpie hanging on her necklace? We use Sharpies a lot when we're catering to mark different bags and different aluminum pans of food, so we know exactly what's in each thing. And so Hosanna is smart and she knows that if we lay it on the counter, it could get lost very easily, or a younger child could pick it up and walk away with it. So she keeps it close. So, you know, this is our cookie dough recipe times 5. So it is quite large, and it is going to take some time for her to get all of this mixed up. You can't see me now, but I'm over at the stove top laying bacon out on baking pans and rotating it in the oven. And you know how in the oven there's hot spots, and so some of it will get crisp faster than others. So that really needs all of my attention so that we don't end up burning any of that bacon. So this cookie order, like I said, is going to a local shop, and she's also passing out hot chocolate to her customers that come in. It is a local shop here in Richmond called Consign RVA, and she sells high-end, beautiful furniture and home goods. You know, they're higher end, they're very gently used and fantastic condition, and it's a really beautiful place to go. So if you're ever in Richmond, make sure you stop by Consign RVA. She also has little gifts like candles and tea towels and cocktail napkins and all sorts of fun stuff. So it's a great, great place. So Hosanna's making progress here. It's getting mixed up. So this dough does end up being, you know, it looks very crumbly. It doesn't ever end up like really holding together super tightly. But if you were to stick your hand in there, not while Hosanna is beating, of course, if you were to stick your hand in there and grab a handful of this dough, it forms into a ball very easily. So even though it looks very dry, it's actually not. It just makes really, really beautiful cookies. So she is almost done now. And once she gets done with that, then we can move on to the next step. Oh, she found a dry spot. She's going to have to get that mixed in really well. You can do it, Hosanna. We believe in you. So, unfortunately, we didn't have the camera on at a lot of different places while we were doing this prep. We were so busy working that we kind of forgot to turn it on in different areas. So I'm just going to kind of give you a rundown of everything that we did for prep this day. So we did the bacon. Like I said, we needed 50 pieces of bacon, 50 pieces of cooked bacon. We also, Hosanna and my daughter Clara worked together to cube up a bunch of cheese. So we got the big wedges of Gouda and Gouda and Gruyere at Costco. And they cut all of that into bite-sized chunks. And let's see, what else did we do? We hard-boiled 50 eggs and then shelled them, which was the tricky part. So it's wonderful when you get fresh eggs at the store, but okay, Hosanna's adding in the chocolate chips now.
Still working on this.
Mom, do I use the hand mixer for this? Chocolate chips.
You can try. It might be easier to. I would not use that spatula. That's going to be hard. Okay, Hosanna's got her wooden spoon now. She's getting it mixed in. That's a lot of chocolate chips there. You can do it, Hosanna. It's going to be even harder to get the cookies mixed in, but she knows this. She's done this recipe many times. She's up for the task. She's a strong girl. Let's see here. What else did we work on? So we did the hard-boiled eggs. They were really hard to get peeled because they were fresh eggs from the store. So that took more time than we thought it would, unfortunately. Let's see here. What else did we do? Oh, I made a bunch of little brioche honey buns to take. Okay. Now the girls they have the cookies mixed in to both batches. As you can see, there's 2 different bowls there. And now they are weighing. So Clara, you can't see Clara in this shot, but her hands are on the other side of the island. She is weighing each dough ball. And I think it was around 115 grams. And then Hosanna will form them and flatten them a little bit. So this particular recipe, you do have to flatten it a little bit or else it'll stay in a ball. So she has to give that a little squish down. And she was just asking me how many to put on each pan, because like I said, normally we make the giant cookies and we can only fit 6 cookies on each pan. So this one, we can do more at one time. So that is a lot of cookie dough to get through, but the girls worked really, really hard and they got it all done. Today is the day that my second and third son are coming back from Washington, and we're all so excited. I wish that I didn't have quite so much kitchen work to do on the same day that they're getting there. My dad is also coming with them. He drove across the country with them. And so they end up getting home around 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night. So it was so good to see them finally home. I miss them so much. It's great to have all of the kids back under one roof again. So Clara and Hosanna are actually doing the cookie part of the business together. We've been working on trying to get, pop-up shops and farmers markets and things like that in the area selling the cookies, because Clara also wants to earn some money. And so we did a pop-up shop a few weeks ago and then got this cookie order. We might try to do some Christmas cookie sales too. That would be fun. But it's a good way for the girls to earn some extra money without having the commitment of a part-time job, because they have such busy school schedules that they really don't have the time to be able to dedicate to a part-time job right now. But they still want to earn money, so we're able to do this around our schedule, which is nice. As you can see, the kitchen is always such a busy place. People are always walking in and out, walking through it. It really is the heart of the home, which is lovely. We're very fortunate to have such a big space so that it doesn't get too crowded. Basically, we could all be in there and it wouldn't be a problem. So as you can see, the girls have been at it for quite a while now, and this footage is sped up, but they're still only about halfway through those Oreo cookies. The whole family was super sad that we didn't make enough cookies for there to be extras for the family to sample. That is definitely something that we need to make sure to do next time, is make some extras so that everybody can join in the fun. Okay, so let's go back to talking about the charcuterie breakfast plate menu. So like I said, I made some brioche honey buns, and I put a cinnamon honey butter on top of those. And so on the traditional plate, it was the brioche honey bun, and then a little cup of vanilla Greek yogurt. And then they also had some strawberries and blueberries on their plate. And then the low carb plates were a strip of bacon, a hard-boiled egg, the cheese cubes, and then also the strawberries and blueberries. And then they also ordered 100 fruit skewers, so I use a bamboo skewer, and I put a strawberry, a chunk of pineapple, fresh pineapple, another strawberry, another pineapple, and then a red grape on the tip. So I will have pictures of the plates and the skewers at the end of the video, so stick around for that, and you'll be able to see what that ended up looking like. But Hosanna and I had to get up at 5 a.m. so that we could pack up the van and be over at the church at 6 so that we could get all of those plates assembled. So we worked really hard all day Friday, and then we got up at the crack of dawn on Saturday and went over there and got all of those put together. So that was quite an undertaking, but we got it done in time. I was a little bit worried towards the end that we wouldn't be able to get it finished, but we finished right on time. So that was great. So the girls are not actually baking the cookies yet. Because I'm still using the oven for bacon. I'm trying to get that finished so that we can get the cookies going. But once I'm done with the bacon, then they can start using the oven for the cookies. Now, you may have noticed that I have a double oven. So the oven on the left, though, is a gas oven, and it is not good for baking cookies. And honestly, it's not great for things like bacon. It's good for roasting meat, and it's good for keeping things warm, or like warming things up. Like if I have a big tray of mashed potatoes or something, I could stick it in there and warm it up. But as far as baking goes, I don't ever bake in the gas oven. So right now, I only have the one oven that I can do the bacon in and that we can bake the cookies in. So that does slow things down a little bit, but it's okay. We manage anyway. So it looks like they're pretty close to finishing up the Oreo cookies. And I wish that I could send you a cookie to taste because they are just fantastic. Out of all of the cookies that we make, the Biscoff ones are actually my favorite, especially with a cup of coffee. It doesn't get much better than that. We also make a third cookie with, when we're making the giant size cookies, we stuff them with a frozen ball of Nutella. And then we put Nutella Bueno candy bars, chopped up candy bars, in them along with milk chocolate chips. So that's the third cookie that we're doing right now. Now, when we make the giant ones for the Oreo crumble cookie, we actually stuff that with a whole Oreo as well. And then for the Biscoff cookies, we take Biscoff butter and freeze little balls of that. And we stuff that with the Biscoff butter and, have the white chocolate chips and the crumbled up Biscoff cookies. So they are quite decadent and they are huge. I don't know how many calories is in one of the giant ones, but it's probably at least 500. It's like a meal-sized cookie, basically. Okay, we are finally done with the Oreo cookies, and now the girls are moving on to forming all of the little Biscoff cookies. Excuse my coughing and my throat clearing. I'm still trying to clear out this cold. Taking forever. I got it 4 weeks ago and it's still just lingering, just the cough part. I'm feeling better besides that. So you can see how when Clara is grabbing some of the dough, it does just come right together. Like we don't have to press super, super hard or anything to get it to mold into a good little cookie. Don't those look cute? They're so good, like I just said. It was so great as the girls and I were cooking. My 12-year-old and my 10-year-old sons were helping us out with dishes and, putting clean dishes away and helping us keep the kitchen from turning into, making it look like a tornado had come through. They were really pitching in. Okay, so now we are at the church. This is our low-carb plate here with the egg and the cheese and the berries and the bacon. And now I'm measuring out all of the yogurts for the 50 traditional breakfast plates. And that took a little bit of time. But I got it all done. We went through, I think I ended up using 6 quarts of yogurt. And I bought these they're 6-ounce plastic bowls. But I didn't want to fill it to the tippy top. So I filled it to, about 3/4 of the way full. So I think it probably ended up being about 4 ounces of yogurt, which, if I'm correct, I believe is approximately how much you would get in a prepackaged yogurt cup. And they told me, when they asked me for menu options, they told me that they wanted a light breakfast. So, this wasn't a men's church retreat. This was a ladies' church retreat. So they wanted it to be light. And before I put it out there, I heated up the bacon so it was nice and warm, and I heated up the honey buns, and we gave them a second glazing of the honey cinnamon butter. So they would be nice and sweet, but not too sweet, not overpoweringly sweet. As you can see, I didn't remember to turn the camera on at the most exciting times. We were going so fast. I had hoped to plan basically, or I had hoped to film basically the whole day cooking on Friday and the whole day setting up on Saturday morning, but we just had to move so fast that I didn't even think about it until it was almost too late. Okay, so here are the honey buns, and that's Swedish sugar that I sprinkled on top, Swedish pearl sugar. And that's all of the plates set up. Doesn't it look nice? And then we set them all out on the table, all of the traditional on one side of the table, and then all of the low carb on the other side of the table. And then at the end, you can see the fruit skewers down there. There's the fruit skewers, and those always look so pretty, and they're nice to eat too. They're fun. Hosanna really does not like making fruit skewers, but everybody loves them. Thanks for joining me. Make sure to subscribe.